Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Hopefully, everybody survived the weekend and getting on to a new week. We're almost to Christmas. Kelly definitely got a Christmas miracle over the weekend because finally, Sophie has been found. We very rarely have a show where it's good news. This is great news. So I'm going to see who all's in here and say welcome, welcome. Just me, good morning. Mama Kay, welcome, welcome. Hello, Outlaw Trucker. Hello, Kat. Hi, Sarah. Lovey Bugs, good morning. Hi, Carla. Lovey Bugs. Yeah, I don't think that story about Kelly's true, hun. I do not. Hello, Radio Gaga. Dodging Bullets, good morning, good morning. Kevin B. Cotton Candy, good morning, good morning. Ms. D.B. Me. Hi. Hello, Just Roll With It. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Superior Dreams. If I missed somebody, I'm sorry. Hey, Holly. Hi, Amy. Cat Chats, Crime and Coffee. Good morning. Hi, Cindy. I think I got everybody. I missed you. I'm really, really sorry. So I saw that a couple of you said that you're new to this case. So basically, in a nutshell, there's a lot to go over. I'm just letting you know it's basically the worst case of parental alienation ever. This man, Michael Long, made up horrific accusations against other men, saying that his daughter was SA'd by them. And he actually made a very scripted and heavily edited video. It went viral and caused all kinds of issues for his ex-wife. She had to be put in protective custody. Kim says, if you're new to this case, go to 10 to Life and catch up. No, are you serious? She was siding with Michael. No, she did a lot of damage to Kelly. A lot. It was very, very sad what she did to Kelly Long. Very sad. I'm just glad that Sophie has been found. Soon she'll start getting therapy, get reunified with her mother. It's not going to be easy, but she's safe. She's better off at the U.S. Embassy than she was on the run with her father. He has lost parental rights. Multiple judges, I say multiple, I mean, CPS, police, people have been through the ringer because of this man. Big time. Big time. It's awful. Yeah, 10 to Life helped ruin this family. It was terrible what happened. She admitted her wrongs. She did admit her wrongs. She did put an apology out. That's fine. I get that. But she wouldn't, since she was wrong, what I'm saying is that's not the person you go to get the information about the case, because she was wrong. She was wrong. I mean, that's what I'm saying. She was wrong. So, okay, Kim says, many people believe what he was saying. Well, I didn't believe what he was saying. I made a group in August of 2020, and it was called Save Sophie from Michael. I didn't want Sophie's name out there anymore, and we changed it to the Long Hoax. And, soon after, I brought in another YouTuber because I didn't have a platform. She did great work. She really got it out there. She really battled them. Kaylee with the T, savage. She was savage on his ass. She didn't let him get away with anything. But on Saturday, Collin County released that they have been found. So, like I said, we have some new people in here. I'm going to put it up real quick. I'm going to move that over. Okay. For immediate release, the Collin County Sheriff's Office confirms that Sophie Long has been located in a foreign country and is in protective custody. Arrangements are being made for her safe return to her family in the United States. Michael Long is in custody on a felony warrant for interference with child custody. The United States government is working on the extradition of Long back to Collin County, Texas. Collin County Sheriff Jim Skinner stated, many months of determined work by my deputies, the FBI and the U.S. Marshals paid off this morning. We are so happy that Sophie is safe. There's no additional information regarding this case. It will be released until Sophie is back on U.S. soil. Great job by the authorities. Great job. So there was also some information that was given by one of our members, and she is backstage right now. So I'm going to bring up our friend Penguin real quick. You can unmute your mic, my friend. Good morning. I'm going to text her real quick. Oh, there she is.
I got it. Good morning.
Yeah, I tried to encapsulate this as quick as I could because, like I said, if people aren't new to the case, I don't know. There was so much stuff that went on in the last basically year and a half. It's kind of hard to put it together. Sugar H2O, you are so right. Parental alienation is abuse. And remember how delusional Michael is, though. Michael was rewriting the Bible, called himself Garuda. Besides making false accusations against multiple people, I mean, he's totally delusional. So I'm going to let you talk and take us to what, you went through. Because, I mean, when you and I talked about this and how you were talking to him, remember I told you, be very careful.
You did. You said keep it close. Don't let people know about it. And it was good advice. There were very few people that knew what I was doing. Like just a few people that were kind of, one person in particular that was Kelly's friend, Lisa. Mm-hmm. She knew. Uh-huh. So it's I'm so happy that she's found. I'm happy that I kept it quiet, and I think it was a shock for everybody. I spoke a little bit about it, but on that day that I spoke about it on, I think it was Queen Bee's Live, I was a bit distracted that day because my son had a wrestling match. I was literally going in and, going in and out because I was getting updates about my son and, that kind of thing. So now I can answer questions in more detail.
Well, can I put your screenshot up that you sent me? I mean, I took out the phone numbers and stuff like that. We can go through that first. Okay.
Yeah.
Because you were first talking on the phone to him, and then you started FaceTiming him.
Yes.
Okay. He was singing you love songs at one point.
Oh, Lord.
How did you sit through that? Before we get to this and the FBI and everything, how did you sit through that?
All right. How many people on here have seen the show The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? How many people?
Love that show.
Okay. Do you know the part where where Will and Carlton are in a jail cell and that big dude, that big guy named Bob just starts singing or whatever to them?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was that. It was literally that.
That is one of my favorite episodes. That shit cracks me.
And they go through like different phrases in that episode. Like you'll see the first song, Will's like, what the heck? Second song, he's clapping. He's like, that was dope, Bob. Third song, he's dying on the inside. That kind of thing. Yeah, that was that.
Matrix said, did he sing I Think I Love You by the Partridge Family? Did he sing any covers to you, or were these like all Michael Long originals?
These were all Michael Long originals, and the first one was over 6 minutes. Believe me, I checked. I was keeping track.
Dear God, has he been listening to Fish albums or what? A 6-minute song?
Oh, yeah, a 6 minute song that was loud. Yeah, that was the first one. Most of them were around like the 5 minute, 6 minute mark. The first one, though, was the longest.
Dear God. So Alyssa's sitting in Courtney's RV on the compound. Her ass is still planted there, and he's writing you love songs.
Yep.
Do we have any recordings of these songs, or is it going to creep us out a little too much? I've heard the idiot sing. Trust me. Me and Michael's
interaction. Do that to yourself. Don't do it.
Michael and my interactions were never love songs. Let me put it that way.
I'm shocked that he even spoke to me to begin with.
I was worried about you, and then I was like, okay, so I was afraid you were going to get like sucked in by him like other people do. But then I'm like, well, she's got a husband, she's got a child. No, he's crazy. He's crazy. And I hope that they take their sweet ass time bringing him back to the U.S.
He saw me as an easy mark. I wasn't very much liked, very much online. And I really, truly believe that he thought that he was going to like morph or change my views on things. If he was nice to me, that kind of thing. He saw me as someone easy. And, man, he picked the wrong one.
You should have played a song back for him. That song by John Cougar Mellencamp. I fight authority. Authority always wins. You should have been like, I got a song for you.
Well, it was very weird. Like he's like a hippie, but yet he's all about having guns. He's like in that weird middle kind of thing. As for the songs, at one point, I'm trying to get a look at the backyard, at the background of everything. And my sister had showed me this documentary called Don't F with Cats.
You told me about that. I still haven't watched it.
Had she not sent me that documentary, I probably would have never thought to do that. And I have to give her kudos for that. So I'm trying to look at the background, and the first two songs I kind of see a little bit, but I'm not getting a really clear view. So this is going to sound crazy, but I say to him in this voice, I said, "Oh my God, that was so great. Can you sing me another one? But I can't see your face, Mike." So he took the camera and backed it up because he thought, I was trying to look at his face. I was trying to look at the fence. I was trying to look at the fence, the plants, see how many potting plants were near the fence, that kind of thing.
Okay, so the picture is on the screen. Okay, so that's you saying to the detective, right? Did it look like this?
That is the detective.
To you?
Yes.
Okay, yes. I want to make sure I have this right. I don't want to say it wrong. And you said, yep. And he said, with the lights. And you said, looks very similar. Let me see. It cuts off a little bit. It looks very similar. Okay, so from this interaction, I know there's a lot others, but we don't want to put too much, evidence out there. From there, what happened when you sent that?
So I had described the house and everything that it looked like before he sent me that picture. But he was just trying to verify, hey, it looked like this, basically, is this the right place? And he was getting that from me. But I had described the house, the kitchen. He walked through the front by mistake. I don't think he meant to do that with me on the phone. He was very, very, the last phone call that I ever had with him was probably the longest. It was the longest video chat. It was 3 hours and 36 minutes long and like 26 seconds.
Okay.
And I wasn't expecting on the call. It started off with him very, very angry, yelling, that kind of thing. Then it went to him being very sad. And then it went from extremely flirty to the oh Lord, I dare say it, the 4 love songs that I got. He walked through the front of the house though, right after doing the songs. He walked through the front. I don't think he meant to do that.
Good God. Good God. Okay, so I don't know if when he was talking about guns, and I'm not anti-gun, okay? And that he had taught Sophie to shoot. Did that kind of like change the landscape of this, and they were taking it more seriously, or what?
I think that they were taking it more seriously when this wasn't the first time that he had done a video chat with me. I had reported the other ones to the tip line. I had done that. But when I did it this time, I told them how it was different because of the threats and the things that he said. I got transferred over to a detective, and it kind of took off from there. He definitely knew that the officers were outside the house taking pictures, and I think that's why he ran and was found in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
But they were monitoring him, and I feel like law enforcement, they did what they needed to do. They did their business. They handled it.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm so rude. So what I'm gathering is they were on the case. They were monitoring him, period.
Right.
But the extra tips kind of helped them get a better angle on where she was.
Yes, and I also think that the threat escalated things to a very different level. I think that I was very adamant about what they said. Oh, I had another important thing I totally forgot. The detective that I spoke to asked me for Mike's URL for his Facebook and mine. I kind of had I had very long conversation with that detective, and I had to tell the detective what the threats were. He asked me what my opinion was. Did I think that this was going to go violently? And I told the officer my honest opinion, which was, yes, officer, absolutely.
And what did he say to that?
He didn't really say much. I think the biggest thing, he was definitely in shock when I told him that, hey, I'm just letting you know. He told me that his little girl is going to fight. And knows how to point a gun, and if necessary, he'll give her one.
Mm-hmm.
That was a game changer. The officer, I think, was in shock and couldn't believe. Like, it's hard for anyone, I think, to hear that. But the flyers that were being posted definitely helped and enraged him. He was very, very upset by it all, extremely so. So I think, in a way, a lot of people had a part in this, whether it be big or small. Even groups sharing the flyers, those were huge.
Well, and also the Bring Sophie homepage was awesome.
Yes.
That was great. I don't know who set it up. I do know how to set it up, but who set it up, but I'm not going to say on here. That was great. That was great. I don't know if you've seen any comments on different news articles or anything. Some people still aren't buying it. I don't get it. I don't get what it's going to take for them to open their eyes. I will never understand it. I mean, some people they can't handle being wrong. They can't handle being wrong. Hang on, Cat. Cat, thank you for the super sticker. You didn't have to do that. Oh, Amanda, let me check my DM here in a second. So I understand if you're like brand new to the story and you just happen to see this article,
Mm-hmm.
you would, you'd kind of look at him as a sympathetic character. He's just trying to protect their daughter. Hold on, I got to hop out of StreamYard and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, sorry about that. All right, so I mean, they're still in denial. Like I said, either they're new to the case and from the outside looking in, they're like, oh, he was just trying to save his daughter, blah, 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 blah. Or they just don't want to be wrong. I can't get over these crazy comments. It's like they're not happy this little girl is safe and away from him. You know what I'm saying?
I don't get it. People are gonna be upset no matter what, I think, and you can't please everyone. It is what it is. I'm happy that she's found. I'm happy that she's safe. I think that everyone did a small, everyone had a part in it, but I definitely think law enforcement, uh, they're the ones that are the heroes to me.
Well, they've been working it the whole time. I remember at one point I said, Kelly needs to get a private investigator because I couldn't figure out what the holdup was. And now I see they were just working the case the whole time, trying to find him. Who knows? He was probably in different areas every single night.
Yeah. Who knows?
And I've also wondered when they left July 7th and went on the run, in the viral videos, Sophie, was yelling, I'm smart. And I think she's an extremely intelligent little girl. I just kind of wonder when they were doing this, if she realized that they were on the run or what he told her, if he was telling her, no, I'm hiding you out or whatever. Did he ever say to you what he was telling her?
A few times. He just kind of, I'm trying to think back. When it came to her, I know that he told her that he was gonna. It was weird the way he worded it to me. It was like he was gonna go along with fight for her, but I told him multiple times, you getting arrested isn't for her. I told him that it's not a matter of if they're gonna find you; it's a matter of when. And he was just not hearing it.
Well, and at which point did he think that he was going to get away with this? I've never understood at what point did he think he was going to get away scot-free?
Yeah. I don't I don't think he thought he was going to get away with it in the end. At least not when he spoke to me. It was kind of like he was going to go down fighting, and it was what he wanted to do. And she was going to fight with him. That was the way he worded. And I tried so hard to convince him that there was another way, that it didn't need to happen that way.
Right. No, I agree. Let's see. There's something else. Okay, so Jeannie put something up that, Sophie's in a Mexican orphanage and like they're trying to raise more money on the GoFundMe and stuff like that. Absolutely ridiculous. They're not going to give Jeannie, John, and Alyssa an update on Sophie. They're not going to communicate with them. What a ridiculous thing to say. And I also wonder if anybody else is going to be charged, because people knew where she was. They knew, they were in communication with him and didn't give any information to help bring Sophie home when they knew she had been kidnapped.
I personally feel like, I can't speak for everyone, but I felt personally that if he was telling me these things in anger, how could he not tell his girlfriend? And his girlfriend was Alyssa. And that's what makes me infuriated, was people can laugh and say what they will about me all they want, but I know damn right well that he told her that he was prepared to die. And I knew that whatever he told me, he probably told her. So I'm just not buying this whole, she didn't know what he was planning to do out there. I definitely think that was a hairline away from being a very tragic thing. For sure.
Well, he's delusional. He's a dangerous person.
Yes.
He kidnapped his own daughter. You know what I'm saying? He got every door shut in his face because everyone knew that it was made up. He's dangerous. What he did to this little girl is unforgivable. And it's going to take a lot of help to get her to understand that he orchestrated this whole thing. Somewhere in her mind, I think she knows it, but she actually believes it now. I think she actually believes it now because he hammered it in her head for so long. Tammy said Jeannie and John had so many opportunities to do the right thing. Yep, they did. Because after Labor Day of 2020, she shouldn't have been there at all. She should not have been at that house anymore.
Didn't at one point, now I might be incorrect on this, didn't at one point the parents of Michael say that they were just accepting of the fact that he was going to go down fighting?
I never heard that.
I'm pretty sure I heard that from somewhere. I just can't think of it at the time. But I tried to talk to him about that, like, how are your parents going to feel? He was very adamant that his father knew what he was doing. That's what Mike told me, at least.
Oh, I'm sure because they know he's gone. They know Sophie's gone. I mean, hell, they've been laying around the RV for the last, year almost. They knew what was going on. They knew he was breaking the law, and they didn't care. They didn't help find their granddaughter. I mean, what are they doing for their other grandchildren? Nothing. They don't care. It's awful. These people are awful. Lovey Bug said, I read she was at the embassy. That's what I read too, that she's at the U.S. Embassy, or that the U.S. Embassy, she's in protective custody. This Mexican orphanage is a dumb ass thing to say. It truly is. It's a really dumb thing to say. Excuse me, Al, you're exactly right. U.S. Marshals don't drop kidnapped American children off in foreign orphanages. No. That's for kids. No, not at all. Rye Guy wants to come up and say something real quick, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Hey there, what's going on?
Not much.
Well, aren't we all happy that Sophie is safe?
Yes.
Very, very happy. We are going to keep the Long Hoax open. To be quite honest, it's a private group. I know some people were like, "Are you going to, close the group down now that, Sophie's been found?" Well, I mean, I think we're going to continue to follow, Michael being extradited, what his charges are going to be, jail sentence, all of that stuff. It's not going to be. It hasn't been as active as, I mean, it hasn't been active for quite a while anyway. I mean, except for over the last weekend. But no, and not to mention, we've made a lot of really good friends in there. A lot of really good friends. We also have a Discord for this case. And if you want to join that, send me an email. It's on the About tab, and I'll get you a link. So, Rye Guy, what were you wanting to tell us?
To Tiny Tim, quit spewing lies. You don't know anything because law enforcement hasn't said anything except for that press release to Michael's mom. Also quits telling lies, and to the army who still supports. And now you're all stupid to still that you're still supporting him.
For real, he's in jail in Mexico, and they still believe that this little girl was essayed by multiple men, police officers. Her mother had to be put in protective custody with Sophie and her brothers, and they still want to believe this story. Who wants a child to be essayed? I was talking about the case in Florida, Morgan Keene and Argelio Pupo. They both were essaying. Well, he was. Okay. It was horrific. The mother knew about it. They alienated that girl so bad she couldn't tell anyone. That's what abusers do. You're alienated. You can't tell anyone. There's really not a lot of opportunity. So anyway, she told her grandmother what they had been doing to her. And I mean, hop, skip, and a jump quick. Those two have been in jail since November of 2020. And I mean, they're looking at never getting out for what they did to that little girl. But we're supposed to believe all of these different men, all of these different people have abused this little girl, and not one detective, nurse, doctor, judge, social worker would do anything about it, and they still want to believe that. I can't believe how stupid they are. I can't believe how stupid they are.
And to Alyssa, you're next to be put behind bars because you had a part in this whole thing.
Well,
everybody who's going after Kelly, leave her alone.
Kelly's been through enough. It's awful. She's been through enough because of this man.
Let her and her daughter heal from all this. Let them live in peace.
Yeah, let her get back on her feet, get her family back together, and heal. And for those people that are saying, "Oh, she drinks and all this stuff," it'd be kind of hard not to want to have a glass of wine with everything going on. It's ridiculous to even throw that at her. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't think Courtney should be forgiven either. Punky said KC had a part in this too, but she's been forgiven. I don't think she should be forgiven.
I haven't forgiven.
She turned around and she did the right thing. I mean, basically all of that's on Kelly, you know? But I think law enforcement does, with the kidnapping, needs to look at who was helping Michael. Do you agree?
Yes. And then the post at Tiny Tip saying that Kelly doesn't have her boys. That's a lie. She does have her boys.
Yep, that's a post in Long Hoax. That was verified. She has her sons. She does. And Saturday was a very, very happy day for her because it's the end of this nightmare. But now they got therapy, reunification, because it's going to take a long time, yeah, and a lot of deprogramming because it's like a Stockholm syndrome. She believed this.
Oh, Brooks, Mike's mom wants to start a protest.
Of course she does. Of course she does.
Maybe if she had a better relationship with her son, he wouldn't have so many problems. I could tell that talking to him when he discussed his parents. He seemed to have a very close relationship with his father, but his mom's relationship, the way he described it was just weird. And she needs to just stop. And I definitely think people that helped him should be held accountable.
Yeah. I mean,
Same with the girlfriend and the people who sent her on that property. They know who they are. They need to be held accountable for that. That was for her to know what he was planning to do, that there's different levels of sick. Okay. Like they can say whatever they want and make fun of me, whatever, penguin this, penguin that. But he was very adamant that he was prepared to die. And his daughter was going to go with him. And I know damn right well, if he told me that, he told his girlfriend that. So the people that sent that sick woman to that property, along with her, need to be held accountable. And that's just my personal feel on it.
And doesn't ML know that the cops, I should say the FBI, even though he probably deleted a whole bunch of stuff, they can still recover all that stuff? Even though it's gone from your phone, doesn't mean it's gone forever.
I don't think he thought about that, to be quite honest, because no, the investigation's not going to be over. So everybody he talked to could get into trouble. Anyone that helped him, whether it's sending money or knowing where they were or just encouraging him to keep her in captivity, basically. I mean, he kidnapped her. You know?
Yeah. I think that he didn't think that it was going to turn into a felony warrant. I think he had this idea that if he kept filing things, I think he tried to repetitively tell himself that, but deep down he knew what was going to happen. Because I asked him that plenty of time, and he just said, well, if it comes down to it, I'm not going down without a fight. I think that the flyers definitely helped. They definitely unhinged him for sure, especially when they were being put on certain lives. Like that couldn't have been more fantastic because it unhinged him to the point where he said things that he shouldn't have said and it got reported.
Right. And the main thing is Sophie is away from him. Now she can get the proper help, the proper therapy. And I just love it that this is finally over for her. Finally, this part of it anyway. You know?
Yes. And I would want if someone heard, like, you know, if I was the mom and somebody heard somebody saying that while while they had my child, I would want someone to call.
Yeah. Yeah, if you think that you see a missing child, you're not wasting the officer's time by saying, I'm at Kohl's and this looks like the child that I saw on TV. They're going to get right out there.
There is a GoFundMe out there that ML's Mobstar is. So if anybody can go report the GoFundMe. Because I did it. I did it yesterday.
I can't believe that stupid thing is still up. We don't need to be donating money to them. They already copped the public for $200,000. Where did that go? And please don't tell me attorneys, because I will never believe that. $200,000 is a damn good family attorney.
Mike told me it was more than that, because he told me it was over $100,000 in the PayPal and Venmos. He said he was using it to move around different places before it ran dry. He told me it came from over 1,000, 1,100, PayPal, Venmo.
And in the new GoFundMe, there's over $2,000 in it.
Really? They've collected that much?
Yep, it's like 2,100 right now, just over 2,100.
Wow. I'll never get it. I will never get giving money to freaking criminals. I will never understand it. Never. It's not the first time. It won't be the last time. And when we started the group, it was like basically 20 people. And the army was growing by thousands every single day. And then they found out about our group and they started stockpiling in there. Now, somewhere in there, and they won't say anything. They wouldn't say anything, but they were messaging me saying, I'm so glad you have this group because there's something really off with him. But I'm afraid of getting doxxed. I'm afraid of getting harassed. So I'm not going to say anything. So like left and right, I'm having to get rid of people because they would not be open-minded. And then some were like, yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. And I'm like, yeah. And then all of these other things started coming out, that he had accused so many other people, rewriting the Bible and everything like that. But I mean, still, it was a David and Goliath project. It really was. And I will never understand how Kelly got through it, because a lot of mothers, I'm not saying me or any of the mothers in here, they would have been like, okay, look, if you want to live with your dad that bad, I understand. But she fought through this because she knows Michael's crazy. Michael's crazy.
Yeah, his moods changed real crazy too. I've never seen anything like it personally. People ask, like, Ashley, what'd you do when you got off the video with him? The first thing I did was I just sat on my bed for a while, just thinking, because I was upset. I had to really try to keep it together when he went from angry, he said what he said, then it was sad, then flirty, then mad, then flirty again. I've never seen anything quite like that.
Lovey-Bug says, is he mentally ill with diagnosis? Yeah. His head is not screwed on right. His head is not screwed on right. No. Mm-mm. And I agree right here with the nut milk stand. All that matters is SL is going home. Sophie is going home, finally. And she can get away from that craziness. And then he was on panel one night last summer with that Father's Right movement. And shame on him for doing that. He knows in his mind what he was doing. He knows what he was doing. And here there are legitimately fathers out there fighting to break this cycle of parental alienation. And it looks to me like he ruined that channel, honestly, if you want to know the truth. Because, this dude's getting maybe 2 views the last I heard. I guess one of the views would be him because he's doing the show. He had kind of a good movement going there.
That's
Awful.
so sad. That's so incredibly sad, because I do believe that fathers should have equal rights. It should depend case by case basis. And I'm not saying dads haven't been shafted before in the past. I believe that they have, but he made a mockery out of that.
He made a mockery out of everything. The system, SA, he made a mockery out of everything. Janine, does anyone know if any details have been released if he's been allowed out of Mexico? Nope.
I don't think so. I think he's still staying in a Mexico jail.
I think old boy's going to be there for quite a while. I
don't think he'll be back on U.S. soil till probably sometime next week.
Okay, I thought Janine said he. I apologize. No, he will be there for a while till he gets extradited. I don't know how long Sophie will be there. How long it's going to take for them to get her back. I don't know.
Sophie most likely is probably getting close to coming back to the States, because I know they want to expedite that to get her back on U.S. soil.
Right. Yeah, and I don't think any of us will know. And we shouldn't know, because at this point, there's no point in talking about Sophie. She needs her privacy. She needs to get therapy. She needs to be left alone. Eventually she's going to have to go to school. Now, I don't know if she'll go to the same school she was at before, a different school. I don't know how that's going to work. But kids know how to use the internet, and they're going to figure out real quick through news articles, because there's a lot of news articles. Just on Google, they're going to find out who she is. It's going to be a long time till she gets away from this. And it's sad. It is so sad what he did to her. It is awful, but she's safe now. She can get therapy. She can recuperate. And I hope wherever she winds up going in Texas, I'm just going to say it's Texas. I don't know where she's going. I'm just throwing a state out there, that she's not allowed to use the internet at all. Because I know at one point she was talking about her fans, and she knew what was going on. He was keeping her in the loop of how popular she was. The whole thing is disgusting, and I just assume they just leave him down in Mexico. Don't waste the fuel to bring him up here. Please don't.
If I was her family, I would shield her from the internet.
Oh, I think that goes without saying, because if old Mikey gets out, the first thing he'll try to do, he doesn't understand. I shouldn't say understand. He doesn't care. Boundaries mean nothing to him. And if she is anywhere on social media, he will reach out to her.
It's funny that you mentioned the boundaries thing. That's not quite true. They matter when they cross his boundaries. He's actually super big when it's like when he felt that people were taking, when he knew that people were taking pictures of the house and things like that. He cares when it's his boundaries that get crossed, not he can't reflect and see that how he's crossing somebody else's, how he's crossing the line, per se.
Oh yeah, he does. He used to get really, really upset when he was called out. Really, really upset. Absolutely sick. Excuse me, one second. And he has turned so many people's lives upside down. Besides his daughter, besides his ex-wife, his parents, Alyssa, Courtney, who she seemed to know a lot of what was going on, but there's people that got involved with the case who it interfered with their lives. And I've always said he's like a cult leader. He draws these people in. There's people in the Army that are still, and I don't mean the United States Army for people that are new here, the Sophie's army he started, that they're still going to keep fighting this fight. Like, they really believe that there was police officers in her hotel room. They truly believe that these men from before, last fall abused her. They believe all this. It's sickening. It is absolutely sickening. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know how people can fall for some of the stuff he says. He was very he's very out there.
Yeah, hang on. I gotta get out of StreamYard and come back because it's gonna start cutting me out. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. I'm sorry. Who did that? Hang on. April, thank you. April, thanks for the super sticker, and you're right. I'm just glad she will now start to eventually heal. But what I was saying before I had to get out and come back in, I cannot believe how many people's lives have been turned upside down, and like, this is their mission in life. Okay, I understand abused children. I understand. Why don't you fight against parental alienation? Not fight for Michael. I'll never understand it.
It's sad. I think that parental alienation is very, very much talked about.
It should be against the law. It should be against the law. Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you coming on panel, Ashley. I appreciate you coming on panel, Dallas, very much. But I'm going to start winding this down. So we're going to update everybody through the group, and we'll probably do a couple lives here and there about like Michael. Michael
because I was willing to answer like questions and stuff. Like, one of the questions in here was like, when was the last time you talked to Michael? The last message I got from him was like December 4th, I want to say. And just to clarify with like your audience and everyone else, I verified an address, and after I described a house, and then I told law enforcement that he was on the move, and then I called after I sent the text that he was looking to leave. Then they asked me where, and I said Mexico because he had talked about it, but I wasn't really sure. He made it sound like he might stay, he might leave. So I told them, hey, he's planning to move, he's planning to leave. And then law enforcement caught him in Mexico, wherever he went, whether it be the border, middle of Mexico. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not the one rounding them up. That's why law enforcement gets the kudos.
Absolutely, law enforcement gets the kudos because we all know how Michael is, and they had to chase him everywhere. He's dirty. He is dirty, dirty man. He is dangerous. He's a cult leader. He groomed his daughter. I don't mean grooming in that way. Brainwashed her into ruining people's lives. Ruining their lives. Don't think it would have bothered him for 1 second if the false accusations would have landed people in jail. That's the type of man that we're dealing with. You know what I mean?
I was always shocked by the four dudes in the hotel room incident. I never understood that.
I can't believe people believed it. They were freaking out. They're like, I can't believe that her mom's not doing anything. And I'm like, what? Those guys are there. Those guys are there to protect Kelly and the rest of her family from psychopaths that wanted her dead because they believed his lies. It's absolutely nuts. He is 100% dangerous. He is.
Well,
he needs a lot of help. I'm talking institutionalized type of help.
Well, in a way, with him being caught, it's funny how you mentioned how he needs help. He truly does. Like this needed to happen not only for Sophie's sake, but for his sake. And now he might be able to be forced to get treatment, possibly, which might turn him around and be good for him, hopefully.
Yeah, he needs help. He's a danger to himself and he's a danger to others, as we've seen unfold over the last year. But thanks again for coming in here, Ashley. Like I said, the most important thing is Sophie is safe and she's away from that narcissistic, deranged monster.
Correct. I couldn't agree more, and I'm happy for her. I'm happy for all of them. And now we talked about the parent relationship with the child, but she's going to be able to have a relationship with her siblings. Sibling relationship is also super important.
Yeah, she needs to see her siblings. She's been alienated from everybody. We went from friends at school, grandma, mom, siblings, to just him on the run. That's sick. You don't do that to a child. But I'm going to wind this down. Thanks for coming up here, and I'll talk to you later, okay?
Alrighty, thank you.
Bye, hun. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to be back at noon. We're going to be talking more about the Josh Duggar case, which is sickening too. He needs to be in a Mexican prison as opposed to the comfy. He's got a lot more comfortable than Michael does. So we'll be back at noon Central Time, which a couple hours. Then tomorrow, we have a new show about Summer Wells. It's called Deflection, and it's going to be a really good show. So thank you guys for being here. If you want to be in Discord, send me an email. If you're new here, please sub the channel. It means a lot to us. Give us a thumbs up or thumbs down. Either way, kind of helps either way. So I appreciate everyone being here. Happy Monday, and we'll see you back in a couple hours. Bye-bye.